Good luck. We love you.
I love you too, Jane Galt. Welcome back. Opponent taking a strangely long time on g3. Like usually, maybe not usually, but very often white pre-moves bishop g2. A good thing I didn't try the Lafang. D5 is probably the most principled move. I mean, usually against like knight of 3 kings Indian attack, I play more of a queen's gambit decline setup. But I think it makes sense to control the center. Ah, so white's going for hippo. I'll start with knight c6. So when bishop e2 comes, the pawn's already defended. And I can play bishop e6. I might go for this, what do you call it, English attack setup. I might throw in this move too. Yeah, might as well. Because if white plays h4, then the pawn can't move backwards. And I can go for like this maneuver. Here I think I'll play f6. Yeah, white's still kind of employing a hippo. 64 crew asking advice on Albin counter gambit. I don't play the Albin too often. It's playable though. Not sure what like general advice I can give. Castle queenside here. I mean, there's also bishop h3 immediately. There's also this move. I think I'll play a5. It's unclear where white wants to castle. Castling queenside, I'll already be ready to attack. c4, wow. White showing no fear. Could play a3. a3. And there's also takes. I was also considering bishop b4. I have a choice to make here. I think I'll start with a3. The idea is after bishop b4 or bishop c3, I play bishop b4. And if we trade, then d3 could be a target. I'll be threatening this, and if castling, then I can start attacking. I should also complete development at some point too. Yeah, with Albin, of course, you should like know the main traps. But then beyond that, I think the same advice can be applied to any opening is like use a master's database, find games with strong players, or even Lee Chess database, and see kind of how the top players develop in the middle game, especially in the lines where white doesn't fall into a trap. I think the opening is objectively dubious, but you're not going to be losing even if white knows what they're doing. I guess one issue with the Albin is if white plays knight f3 on move 2, you can't play an Albin. So white could avoid it, and then you have to learn some kind of like Queen's Gambit, declined, accepted, semi-Slav, Tarash. Okay. So white defended c2, but left d3 hanging. So this worked out pretty nicely. Could go for takes. I think it makes sense. Opening the d file. Queen supports the knight now. And there's some like rook d8. I don't want to leave a3 undefended. And I don't want to like play this and cause my rook to be a target. I'm considering this move actually. Oh, looks kind of interesting. Knight b2. Because we trade. We trade again. Let's do it. It seems like I'm going in the wrong direction, but this is forcing some simplification. And there's a line like takes, let's say king takes, and the a file opens. Even if white gives a check in that line, a2 is still vulnerable. Like if a4, I take on b3. This looks fun. Ziggy P says, I feel like most Queen's Gambit players are way booked up on more QJA or QGD. That's probably a true statement. Yeah, there is an element of surprise value when it comes to openings. Oh, white was prepared. Okay, so I think I'll trade and then play c6. Undermine the bishop, defend the pawn. Hey, it's Gotham. What's up, Gotham? Shout out to Levy. We had I think we still have, yeah, we still have 64 crew in the chat. I was explaining the history of crew 64 a little bit earlier. Okay, the king wants to hide. The knight wants to develop. And the other rook wants to come in. Oh, I see the comment from Edu Fun Chess on YouTube. Hey Eric, I played Abu Dhabi event 2, saw you surrounded by fans for a pick just a minute before the round. Yeah, I took a lot of fan photos in Abu Dhabi. Had to sign a lot of things.
Welcome back from Abu Dhabi. I enjoyed your recap of your games.
Oh, thank you, Multimorph. Okay, so I'm up a pawn. I don't think I need to do anything too special. Just go for the rook trade. I think sometimes when it's knight versus bishop...
Is this the Eric Bartholomew channel? Love your work.
Maybe someday I can change my last name to Bartholomew. But John is a big inspiration of mine.
Good to have your streams back again. Missed you while you were gone. What did you eat in Abu Dhabi?
I had a lot of food. It was like hotel buffet every day for every meal. It was good. I had a lot of hummus and baba ganoush and pita. There was different types of curry and soup every day. Tabbouleh. Had a lot of tabbouleh. Okay, so this bishop is kind of just sad for life now, which makes me happy for life. The plan is to play knight c6 to b4. I don't think it's possible for the king and rook to attack the pawn at once. Because if the king ever comes to b3, then it blocks a rook. The question is, how do I make progress? And walk up with the king. Maybe I could sack. Oh, maybe I just control. It's the only open vial, so I might as well control it. Looking at a line, bishop h3, g6. King takes a3, and then either rook d2 or rook a8. And I'll win the a2 pawn. And white's pieces are just a little bit stuck here. There was one day they had pizza in the buffet. And I had it. It was decent. I think I'll play this move. And this would have been more forcing. But this move, I think it'll drain more time from white. It basically does the same thing. Oh, there's a funny line. King b5, b6. And now mate is unstoppable. The black pieces just want to hug the white king from all directions. The most loving setup on the queen side. Did you play in the last Lichess Arena? I did. But I was at the airport. I really wanted to stream it, but I didn't quite have my stream setup in place, and the Wi-Fi was questionable. But I was in some kind of airport lounge at the Dubai airport. I was doing pretty well in the tournament. Like I was top 20 or top 30 for a while. Okay. That was nice. Gained a point. Thanks for the game. Tone Adel. Yeah, White was trying to play like a solid opening. And then, I mean, Queen D1 was a turning point. I think castling, and it's not clear if I'm actually better. Could guess the eval. I think maybe
Welcome
close to
back,
equal.
Eric. Any jet lag?
Black is still better. Yeah, I guess it's still pleasant. I have more space. Nice pawn on a3. Yeah, I am jet lagged. I woke up at like 4:30 this morning. But I have some energy. I got a smoothie. I went to this new juice place that opened next to the chess club. And they were promoting like these juice cleanses. So I might do a juice cleanse sometime this week to just cleanse myself from all the food I ate in Abu Dhabi.
Welcome back, Eric. Enjoyed your tournament recaps a lot.
Thank you, Shadowbee. Is this just me, or does it mispronounce recaps? There's been a couple of times where it feels like it said recaps.
Welcome back. And thanks for all the game recaps.
Am I hallucinating? Wait. One more time. Also, thank you, IARV.
Welcome back. And thanks for all the game recaps.
It's saying recaps, right? But you spelled it normally. You spelled it recaps. I wonder why it's doing that. A recap is when you do a recap again.
Glad to see you back.
But a recap is just when you cap again, I think. No cap? What does no cap mean? Hear that a lot these days. Wait. Hector Bat says recap stands for recapitulate. Really? A summary of what has been said. A recapitulation. Oh, wow. Recapitulate. I didn't know that. But that's a verb. So the noun is recapitulation. Oh, where'd my thing go? Whoa, it's two of me. It's a weird thing on Windows 10 when you shake it, it goes away and then...
Enjoy your content. Your recaps were great while you were away from streaming. Quack.
Can you leave the arena a round or two early? I think you're referring to this tournament. Because this tournament is a Swiss, not an arena. But if you leave early, then I think you just get 0 points for those rounds that you miss. It'll be 7 rounds total. Hey, it's Bob.
8 months, let's go.
Let's go. Hey, it's a Caro Kann. So I'm playing the 2 Knights attack. Following my prep from the Crush the Caro Kann video. This is also my prep for Levy. This is also my prep for Jobava. Because Jobava usually plays Caro Kann, and I was preparing for him in the tournament. Oh, my queen! Oh, no. Ah. This is still theory. Main move is this. And then queen e2. I actually haven't looked at this line in a while. At first, it doesn't look so impressive for black. But I think this is a topical variation. There was some game in the World Cup, Faruja against Sindarov. They played a very like deep theoretical line here. But I think that game featured b5. I think d4 makes sense. And castling. Yeah, nothing too special. Just developing. It was useful to get bishop c4 and then queen e2, because the pieces harmonize better. And I provoke e6, so this bishop is kind of sad. And I have a bit more space with the d-pawn. Easy development. I mean, black wants to do something like this, but c6 hangs. So feeling good already. Knight d5. That's a fine move. Trying to understand what black wants to do, but I think black just prevented me from actively developing the bishop. So, yeah, I mean, I could play c3. It's typical improving move. I think c3 makes some sense.
Hi Eric, glad to see you back again. Thanks for the tournament games on stream.
Oh, thank you, Peter Holland. Oh, and shout out to Bob, too. Also, shout out to Diamond Cutter, fellow streamers. b5. Yeah, I want to take the pawn, but then does it work? There's queen c7. It looks a little bit risky to take. Just with the h-pawn. Bishop still hanging. I mean, I should calculate. Knight c6. So queen h4, I have g3. Queen c7, I take on b5, take on h2, king h1. So I'm looking at this line. And bishop b7. It seems like black has like decent compensation. And bishop d3 just seems way more controlled. Oh, shout out to Levy too, who was briefly here earlier. Up and coming chess streamer and YouTuber. I have f4. And black wants to play c5 eventually. So f4 is one choice. Queen h5. Queen h5, g6, queen h6. I'm taking time here. I'm trying to figure out the best path. Queen g4. There's some idea like, I think I should start with queen h5. Black has an option. Black has this, or f5. I actually thought f5 was the least likely. Because now bishop g5 comes with tempo. And e6 is a maybe long-term weakness. A backward pawn on the half-open file. I don't mind a queen trade. Like queen e8, I'd probably trade. Although I could move back too. Could play queen e2. Yeah, maybe queen e2. And queen g6. How to do this? I think I'll go with my first. My first intuition was to take. I think that's simpler. If I were to retreat somehow, the queen would maybe at some point come in. And I don't mind playing a more positional game here. So I have nice control over the square. This would be an attempt to trap the bishop. F4 I could play F3 and then get the bishop back to F2 eventually. And if H6, probably have to play bishop D2. Welcome back to Jimberwood. And CDR Siri. Yeah, I'm careful about language, but also my moves. I feel like sometimes after I play a tournament, it causes me to change my style in some way. Of like be more cautious during games. Because like during serious tournament games, especially when I'm playing good players, I get in the habit of like double checking, triple checking every line. Because you just have so much more time and it becomes a habit just to be a bit more cautious. There's more pressure in the classical games. I think C4 makes a lot of sense. I think C4, C5. Fix the pawn. The drawback is if I play C5, it gives away the D5 square. And it kind of forces some transformation, though. I think that's a reasonable endgame. Like C5 takes. And there is rook D8.
Finally got a baby badge. Welcome back, Eric.
Hey, congratulations.
Quack.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say finally got a baby, but a baby badge is maybe the first step. Okay, I can't spend all my time here. I don't think C5 is good, though. Maybe A3. F4. There's F3. I think I'll play F3. It's a slower move. So the pawn's very useful in F3, just restricting the minor pieces. Also gives my bishop a square eventually. Some question about advice for beginners about nervous. Okay, let me try and answer that after this game. Because time is running low. Want to make sure I'm not getting too low. The position's still tense too. Yeah, so if rook d8, I think I play bishop f1. Hibernate the light squared bishop. And this bishop is temporarily undefended. But I'm not seeing any like great discoveries. Takes I take. I'm ready to play rook d1. Some c5 idea. B3 probably makes sense at some point. Oh, also this move, which I maybe should have considered. I guess black had takes and then rook d2. Interesting. Really close to winning material. Wait, let me try this. And then bishop b6. If hero there is takes with check. But I'm preventing this and I'm preparing c5. Rook is tied down to defending the bishop. Bishop's pinned to the rook, so neither of these pieces can move. I'm also threatening to win the pawn. So we might see something like rook e7. But then I can still push, take, and then take. Or even push, take, and bishop c4. Or just take on a5. So this is looking pretty good. Rooks are well positioned. All of these things are targets. Time is leveling out. Oh yes, I am back in the US. I was in Abu Dhabi for a couple weeks. I got back yesterday afternoon. I'm just realizing, did I just miss c5, bishop b5? That may have been even simpler. Yeah, I think if I saw it, I would have played it. Okay, but now c5, it's a simple pin and win. I'm also threatening bishop b5, so might be multiple ways to win material. I did not fly business class. To fly business class, I would need a lot more subscribers on Twitch. Maybe someday though. I have been accumulating some like airline miles, all the travels. Yeah, speaking of, if you have Prime, you could sub for free and support the channel. I do appreciate those that do. Also appreciate beating up a bishop. Let's win another bishop. Okay. It's a nice game. I mean, it was a tense middle game. But at some point, I think f5, it was a beginning of some unpleasantness for black, just with the e6 pawn. And then once my pieces found good squares, there was a lot of pressure. I mean, a lot of tension that just went in white's favor. There was a question from earlier I was going to try and address. Oh, from CDR Siri. Speaking of being cautious, what advice do you have for beginners or returnees who are nervous about trying to play people online or OTB rather than only playing against bots? I think the way to overcome nerves in any endeavor, whether it's like chess or like anything in real life, is you need to just get experience. And sometimes it'll be uncomfortable at first, but you have to force yourself to go outside your comfort zone. It was actually the case with like streaming. Like I wanted to stream, but there were a lot of, I guess, insecurities and a lot of things that just made me nervous about starting. But once you get more experience, then it can be more rewarding. So, I mean, if you usually only play against bots and you're scared of playing real humans, just treat it as like an experiment. Like just don't put any pressure on yourself. Just just start games against humans and see how it goes. And if you lose, I mean, that's part of the game. The master has lost more games than the beginner has ever played. So sometimes you need to shift your mindset too and have a slightly healthier approach rather than being result focused, try and be learning focused. There's another quote: every grandmaster was once a noob, which hopefully will inspire the noobs out there. You have to start somewhere. Also, welcome back to Kyoljin. Good to see you. Okay, I'll play my usual thing. Never played this opponent before. This is my pet line, pawn a6. There's a lot of moves in this position. There's Vienna, there's Rogozin, there's Semi-Slav, there's normal Queen's Gambit decline, there's Knight BD7, Tarrasch. I think I encountered this like once in a collegiate event. But I don't think it was this position. So I think I'll just play bishop b4 here. And this should be an improved Rogozin, because white doesn't have a3. Also, sometimes in Rogozin, white will play queen a4 check to provoke this move. So this bishop's very solid here. Now probably castling. I don't think a4 was a blunder, but probably like already some inaccuracy. I'm considering b6. Just develop normally. Yeah, there's only so much I can do to punish this move. Okay, queen e7 looks... Actually, queen e7 I have to calculate. And c5 also possible. Yeah, c5 actually looks nicer. And this is a case where this pawn would really like to go backwards. So now I think the plan is to play knight c6 and then pressure d4. Also some potential of knight a5. Try and win the pawn on c4. Every grandmaster was once a sleeping genius. Every grandmaster was also once a baby. Okay, what to do? It looks almost like very unstable for white. I still don't know if I can win anything. Take on d4, take on c4. The queen lands here. Knight a5, there's queen a2. I think I just play bishop b7. Just improve. Eventually get the rook to c8. And keep all the tension. There's a question, what's your favorite opening for white? Most people know this who watch me regularly, is a London opening. But recently I've been trying to experiment more. I actually like getting like fresh positions where there is more to learn from. I've been playing e4 more often, at least recently as well. Okay, so white relieved all the pawn tension. And now I'm left with two pawns controlling a decent amount of space. And white's setup is a little bit passive. White does have a clear target.
Eric in his last video, if you're watching this, it's possible I'm live on Twitch right now.
I am live. Also live. Also alive. I want to play knight a5. Knight a5, queen a2. Maybe I can play queen e7. Because the pawn can't be taken. Queen e7.
Someone purchased oh no.
Hey,
my queen.
Let's go.
Chessboard t-shirt for $22.95.
Yeah, we do still have the merch command. I was wrapping the merch in the most recent YouTube video. I did some kind of magic trick halfway through the video. Thank you to the John Major subbing for 3 months. Thank you, Vander Cow. Happy 22 months. Oh, Stiggy says, I tried claving, but my shirt didn't change. Yeah, the first step is to order your merch. shop.iamrosen.com. Okay, so the point of queen e7, I wanted to get off the d file of the rook. And if white takes, I take, and then the queen's aligned with my bishop, I'll have knight. Oh, I didn't calculate this fully. Knight d4, there is queen c4. I have to go for it now. I messed this up a little bit. Knight d4, queen c4. I guess I could take on f3. Wait a minute. There's also d2. I'm going to be down a pawn, so I'm looking for compensation. If I take on d2, and I have rook d8 as well. Okay, I think I found some solution. We'll start with knight d4. Queen c4 I take. And white will actually have a choice between pawn or bishop takes. So then I trade. And the point now is to play queen f6. I'm not thrilled with this. But at least I'm hitting a few pawns. Anything better? There's rook b8. Let's start with queen f6. So I'm down a pawn, but the king is a bit more exposed. There's some pawn weaknesses. There is a line where white wins the b pawn, and then I can choose between rook b8 or queen f3. Yeah, we're simplifying pretty quickly. So yeah, rook b8. There's queen d4. That still probably makes sense. Queen d6, takes. Yeah, this looks fine. That's still very much a fight. The goal is to eventually get a rook to g6. Have to start thinking about rook lifting. I'm down about a minute. Yeah, so the B pawn's defended. Now it's extra defended. Maybe A5. A5, there's queen E4, and queen G4. So queen E4, queen G4. I mean, this is a threat. There's rook C4. Maybe I can play H5 first. I think H5 is a move I want to play anyway. If I make Luft, I also have dreams of checkmating on G2. This is also a move I should consider at some point. Probably not something to do too soon. Okay, now rook B4. Rook D1 ideas. There's a couple options for white. I'm still down a minute. I'm still down a pawn too. Probably want to play G6 or maybe go for this plan. Because white would have one check. Like rook. Maybe a couple checks. I also have this check. Maybe I check. No. I want to check and play rook C8. There's rook D1. Let's go for this. It's risky because I don't know if I'm actually mating. But yeah, there's definitely should be some concern for white. I'm not scared of these checks. Like rook d8, king h7, queen c2, g6. Rook g4 is very hard to stop. I guess if this, I play rook takes b2, hitting f2 and threatening this. Time is leveling out a little bit. Yeah, so queen a5, the calculation is queen g4, king f1, rook a4. Which looks pretty good. Finally up on time. Hey, it's John. Thanks, John.
Oh no, my paycheck.
Hopefully it's a good investment. Getting the chessboard oh no, my queen shirt. Yeah, I actually didn't see what white should do there. So now g6. Interesting. Check. F7's attacked. And just keep all the tension threatening this. Oh, now I'm allowing... Maybe you should not have allowed that. Check. I have this move. No, I don't have. H4. Huh. Wasn't sure what to do. I think this is a reasonable maneuver. Get the rook to f5 where it defends, attacks. Queen d4, queen e6. Hitting this and this. I'm still down a pawn, but my king is safer. And white has more pawn targets. Tense game. Okay, can take on b3. So I keep this defended. Might be threatening queen c4. Yeah, it looks like things are under control now. Start with check.
Welcome back, Eric. Your Abu Dhabi games were very instructive. Smile.
Oh, thank you. Holgi. Yeah, it's good to be back on Twitch. Tournament was fun. I enjoyed all the games I played. But it's also tiring too, so nice to play some lower pressure chess. Yeah, the queen found a nice square. Defending, attacking. Can target f2. Ooh. Also defends and attacks. Threatening mate in 2. Hey, welcome back, G-Space. And Kavita. G-Space for 40 months. Kavita with 10. Not quite mating here. But it's really close. Now I'm threatening f2 and e4. But I can't take on e4 just yet. Still threatening this. Ooh. Yeah, white's resisting. Threatening mate in 2. There we go. Okay. Good fight. I don't think there's much time between... Oh, there's 4 games going. Okay, I'm going to take a small break. But we can watch one of the last games of this round. Okay, BRB. Okay, good timing. Next round starts in 1 second. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna turn off pentatonic. Someone was asking what song. But this is just a built-in sound setting on chess. The moves can generate music. I'll play e4 again. Why not?
Ah yes, the chair Gambit. A classic in chess streaming. Best
Mm-hmm.
of luck with the tournament, Eric. Smile.
Oh, thank you, hijinks. Okay, I'm gonna play this funny line,
Go go
e5.
go.
This is a line that I briefly showed to Hannah Sace. It's a line I prepared for various opponents, like Danny Wrench, James Canty. It's a way of getting kind of non-traditional Sicilian. And it seems like Black has some idea of what they're doing. There's some a4 move. Actually, there's no need to play a4. Let's just castle. But one idea is to play like a4, a5, knight c4, knight b6. I'd probably start with d3. Wow. I'm trying to internalize what's going on here. It's already a little bit tricky. Like the move I want to play is takes. Bishop takes bishop g5, f6. I might have rook e1 there. I could start just by taking. Ooh. d4. I'm looking at. Actually, looking at queen f3 takes rook e1, knight d7. Don't think it works. It's interesting though. Could it work? It just looks way too risky. If I play d4, also doesn't look great. I think I should just play rook e1 and not overthink things. Yeah, rook e8 is coming. So there's queen f3 here. Hitting the d5 pawn. At bishop e6, I could maybe consider c4. Hmm. Okay, this position looks really, really good now. Like I wasn't sure for a few moves what was going on, but I have the darks for bishop. I have the bishop pair. Black has nothing developed, and black is castled though, I guess. I think I just have this move. Here takes, and then here. Otherwise, I'm winning material. And c5 is also hanging. Oh, thank you, Pitch Bucket. And Orange Crushed. And the Evil Sloth. Yeah, I'm trying to like thank everyone who's been subbing and resubbing. Ooh. So defend or attacking, defending. I don't think I want to take the rook right away. Like rook AE1 seems simple enough. Yeah, this looks really, really good. There's a question I think I missed from earlier. I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, from Facebooks. Eric, have you analyzed your last game at Abu Dhabi with the engine? I did. I guess I didn't show engine analysis in the video,
Hello.
but I guess the spoiler the spoiler for that is the final position was just completely losing for me. Knight c6. Okay, so I have rook d5. I could also, I think now is probably a good time to take. If king or queen or king takes, I have rook e8. If knight takes, we just simplify. At this point, I'm just looking to simplify. I think queen f4 is the simplest approach. Hello to Bricks. 900 for 33 months. There's a comment, queen takes f7 wins. I did not even consider that move. Maybe wins for black? Probably wins for black. Yeah, the strategy was just to get queens off the board. And then probably to get these things off the board. Maybe rook. I think rook d8 and then double up. No mercy here. Yeah, resigns also wins for my opponent. But my opponent resigning wins for me. Okay. Um yeah, this is a line that I haven't had a chance to play too often.
Why are leather boots good for sneaking? Because they are made of hide.
Ah, very clever. Okay, playing D Stahlberg. Playing f6. And we have this position. What do I want to do here? C5 is a move. I think C5 is considered to be like the proper move order. Or the proper way to like respond to this move order. C3. Hmm. This is actually already a new position for me. Like I prepared this very briefly for Levy during one of our matches. It's basically reverse Grunfeld. I think I'll just play e6. And maybe play in some sort of like Kali's Vigor setup. Like 97. Play bishop e7, just castle. So with knight d7, I'm ensuring that if takes, I don't have to take with bishop, I can take with knight. And we're getting a slightly slower position, but looks very solid. Yeah, c4 I'm not too concerned about. I think I just play bishop e7. Rook c8. This reminds me a little bit of my second to last round game in Abu Dhabi. That game we had like this pawn tension against White's Catalan. The c4 might be coming soon. There's some question where my queen wants to be. I'm considering like bishop d6 and queen e7. Because I don't think e4 can easily be played. It's actually kind of remarkable how similar this position is to my game in Abu Dhabi. Because I had almost exactly the same setup. Although in the Abu Dhabi game, my opponent did not play e3. He was a bit more active. And the goal is just to keep improving. Rook d8, maybe a6, b5. But I'm in no rush. I think I'll play h6 first. Just discouraging this idea like e4, knight g5. Thank you, Julie. What's your favorite square on the chessboard? It depends on the position. This position, e4 is a nice square. Might make use of it a bit later. Sometimes it's a collection of squares too. Light squares could be someday in my control. Like knight b8 is an interesting idea. I mean, there's also knight g8. Is white trying to play e4? Also, I could maybe play e5 here. e5. We trade. And it feels like, especially after knight h2, like e5 is probably very timely. Because now the knight's just misplaced. And expanding nicely. You have takes. I think I'll take with knight. I was just trying to calculate this line, pawn e4. And then we might trade a bit in the center. There's actually an idea to play c4. Don't know how well it works. Maybe c4 here could be interesting. Could also just play knight g6. Avoid the knight trade. And white plays c4. Okay, I'm allowing c4 from white. But the point of avoiding the knight trade is now the knights are a bit clumsy for white. They kind of step on each other's toes. I'd like to play this move soon. And yeah, I'm not going to be playing Fisher Random today. But after the stream, I will check the schedule and I'll probably do at least one of these qualifier events. Yeah, I think it makes sense to play Rook E8. Still very positional. Point of Rook E8 is if C4, I play D4. A pawn is pinned to the queen. It is nice having more space and also having all the minor pieces on the board, which just means white is a bit more cramped. I'm just searching for ways to keep improving. Maybe this idea, maybe 95 back. And there's Rook D8. Yeah, Rook wasn't doing too much on C8. I guess unless maybe C4 was an idea. I'm trying to be patient. Yeah, C4 is still probably what white wants to do. Calculating H4, C4, or H5, C4, H4. Looks possible. Maybe just bishop B8. Ensuring that it's not blocking the rook. Potential for the later battery. Yeah, I was looking at D4 takes. These are a lot
Glad
of
you're back,
trades.
Eric.
It's good to be back. Thank you, Russman. Yeah, I think I'll play 95. 95, 93. If I take, we trade. Maybe that's the way to go. I'm not sure. Okay.
Watching the stream while I work helps me focus somehow. Thanks for the content as always.
Yeah, I was aware of this move, but I thought... I mess up. Maybe messed up. Yeah, I thought I had some in-between move. I don't. Okay, I might be a little bit worse here, but it's still interesting. Because if takes, I take here first. Knight c4, I take on g2. I'm probably 95. Yeah, it's a bit more pleasant for white. It's turning into a blitz game. Undouble the pawns at least. And knight g4, I have queen c6. And the plan is probably like, or, queen e6, I should say. Queen e6, f5. We'll take with a rook. Yeah, maybe it's still fine for black. Have the d file. So the bishop needs to be improved. Wow, fancy move. King g7 probably. Yeah, if I took the queen, white would win back the queen and win the pawn. I mean, f5 is coming soon. Rook d1. Ah, this move's coming. So I have rook d2. Hitting a2. Bishop's just a really bad piece. Okay, we might trade a pair of rooks. Ideally, the bishop wants to be on d4. But that's not an easy square to get to. A good move. And then f5 is a threat. King g6. Knight d5. Maybe it's okay. Knight d5, I win a2. Yeah, taking on e2, there's rook d8. So it's a tense position. Bishop wants to be here. King e2 is probably coming. Or not. F6 looks so bad. What else? H4. Not the happiest of moves. But I do want to take. Oh no, my rook. Takes, I fork. Have some ideas to play c4. taking a risk here. Bishop can finally find some life. Sacked exchange, not quite. Maybe I can. Calculating king d3, rook f2, rook d7. I can't do it here. Okay, I'm still playing for a win. It's risky though. Running this. There we go. Okay. Final endgame tactic. Okay, plenty of time too. Even though I'm down on time, it's easy position to play. Okay. Well, that went to the very end. Good game. Phew. That was the final game of the round too. So 5 out of 5. 2 more rounds left.
Do you know if there is any engine that evaluates position sharpness, like looking at how many moves are decent for a player or similar?
Not that I know of, but maybe someone in chat can better answer that than me. Playing... oh, I'm playing... Is this one of the 5 pointers? Oh, I'm playing someone... How am I playing this person? Ah, I'm playing one of the 4.5 pointers. So I guess the other 2 5 pointers are playing each other. Okay. Going back to bread and butter, London opening. C5 can be met with bishop b5. It's already a little bit unpleasant for black here. Hey, it's Brigham.
Our king returns.
Brigham returns too. Welcome back. Yeah, I am back in the US. It's the first stream in a while. Okay, so king f8. I think king e7 is considered the best move. And I've looked at this position before. What am I supposed to do? I think some kind of takes in c4. Then a6. That should be fine. I mean, I think this is the approach to try and punish black as much as possible to like open up the center and take advantage of the fact the king is not castled, so the rook is a bit stuck. Yeah, I was just looking at this line. So black can't take because the pawn's pinned. And queen a5, knight c3. And then if takes, I take and hit the queen. So this looks nice. Maybe we'll see bishop d7. Knight e4, also a move.
I used your absence to finish some papers for university.
Ooh.
Got nice grades,
Nice.
smile.
Hey, let's go. Well, maybe now you can celebrate by enjoying my non-absence. Okay, I'd like to take... I want to win a pawn
Como
here.
estas?
Estoy muy bien. E2. I'm not seeing how to win a pawn. Maybe just knight c3. At knight c3 we trade. And bishop c2. I'm taking time. Like, it feels like a critical position. Okay. Yeah, I think the bishop is a bit more useful on c2. Because there's a lot of lines where I do take on e4. So here I am threatening to take and just win the knight. Pawn is pinned. So there's something like queen g5 or that move. Man, I want to play b4. Also maybe take and win the pawn. I mean, winning the pawn looks nice. Because then I'll be attacking the knight. The bishop's also a target. Knight doesn't have too many great squares. If bishop f5, I can take on g7. There's a question why I didn't take and take on d5. I was considering it, I think. Bishop takes. Maybe I didn't consider that. I was looking at knight takes, but I should have considered bishop takes. Anyway, we got something similar. I could take the knight here, but that does open the file for the rook. But are there any other options? Yeah, let's take. The knight someday wants to come to d5 or e4. Yeah, we can analyze after the game. All right, so knight e4. Bishop's attacked. Actually, knight e4 has two threats. I'm threatening to take the bishop and also check and then win the pawn. So I think white's winning more material here. Thank you, Antoine. Oh, Pabjiski asking, long time no see, where were you? Yeah, I was in Abu Dhabi. I wasn't active on Twitch, but I was very active on YouTube. I recapped every game I played in the Abu Dhabi Masters. So probably the coming days I'll be more active on Twitch, and I'll try and stay active on YouTube as well. Actually, I have some cool YouTube videos coming up, which will maybe include this whole tournament. Some nice content so far. Okay, that was a feel good game. Opponent walked into, yeah, this London line. I mean, after King E7, I think it's just like plus 0.4 for white. Plus 0.5. King F8, a little bit better for white. So here, yeah, Bishop D7 is one of the top moves. I looked at this move, after which it just leads to trades. I guess this is also good for white. Ah, because my queen defends the bishop, so I could take... Yeah, there's a lot of ways to be better here. How many people have been watching for the full tournament? Okay, playing Fatima. I'll play my usual stuff. Oh, I could repeat the same opening as earlier. Yeah, earlier my opponent played c3. Here we see c4. Interesting. I will admit I'm already out of book. But this looks fine, because if queen takes, I play this. Knight takes, I play this.
Greetings from the chessboards on the Chicago lakefront.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Snaboof. I think e5 is a principled move. I'm just not sure what's going to happen after knight f3. Ah, there's a funny idea. I think I play d4 regardless. Yeah, this is kind of like a reverse Grunfeld. But usually in the Grunfeld, there's a trade on c6. So it's to my benefit that I haven't played knight c6 yet. The knight gets a little bit kicked around. Yeah, if knight f3, I was going to play d4, and if knight e5, queen a5 check. I think just a6 here. Some queen a4 idea. Bishop d7. Knight c3, I play d4. And there's a funny line, queen a4, takes, and then takes. Would be down the exchange, but have a lot of pawns. I mean, I think bishop d7 is a simpler approach after queen a4.
Thanks a lot for all the great content, got me back to playing chess, smile.
Oh, nice to hear. Thank you, Palms. Yeah, probably d4 here. I mean, I already like the position. I just want to maximize the advantage. I'm taking on a3. I think d4 closes things down a little bit, but yeah, it leaves the knight really awkward. Just complete development. Bishop will probably come here. It might be worth playing h6 at some point. Although, I mean, if white wants to play bishop g5 and take on f6, I'm probably happy to allow it.
Good to see you back, Eric.
Good to see you too, awkward knight. It's also good to be back. I think streaming is one way to help overcome jet lag. Like, it forces me to be awake. b3. Okay. Oh, castle. Yeah, probably now h6. There's bishop f5. Bishop f5 first. Nothing too special. Just developing. Maybe at some point I can play e4. Get the center pawns rolling. Queen d7. There's this maneuver too, knight d7 to c5.
Welcome back, Eric.
Oh, thank you, Malcolm Reynolds.
Hooray for friendship.
Hooray. Hey, it's Kung Fu Chess. Yeah, I took a small break from Kung Fu Chess during my serious classical chess tournament. I'm thinking queen b6 here. It's just a way to get off the d8 square. It discourages e3. If white plays e3, I take and then take. And it frees d8 for one of the rooks. Not sure if I want to set up like rook e8 and d8 or c8 and d8. Might depend what white does. Knight d3 may be coming. I mean, maybe now e4. Just completely restrict the knight. And yeah, now the rooks want to definitely come to the center files, support the pawns. And white's just really cramped here. Yeah, both pawns are defended and can be reinforced multiple times. Like, it is sometimes dangerous to like, overextend like this. But there's just so much support. Wow. Thank you, Double B. 24 months. So always have to keep in mind the pawn pushes. But let's start with rook d8. Time is good, position is good. I think there was a case in another game where I had the space advantage, and usually the space advantage is nicest when all the minor pieces are on the board. It's just so hard for the pieces to find activity as white. I think white's one active plan is a3, b4. I was going to say which could be stopped by a5. King h1. Okay, I'll play rook e8. So king h1 gets off the diagonal, but it also leaves f2 a little bit more vulnerable. Like maybe I could play knight g4, d3. I'm also envisioning like eventually knight
14
e5, knight
months.
g4, queen
Greetings
h6.
from Hilversum, the Netherlands.
Ooh,
Go Eric. Quack, quack.
thank you, Omno. I don't think I've been to Hilversum. The towns in the Netherlands I've been to were, oh man, were Amsterdam, of course, Kinderdijk, Leiden, Scheveningen. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Nice country. Okay, queen a5. So white sacked a pawn for now the file. I guess the knight can come here. Can I be more greedy? Probably not. Could play queen c2. Yeah, things are still very controlled. I think b5 might come soon. I think the position still requires some patience. And still some more improving too. Queen. Yeah, queen d7. Getting off the file of the rook. If knight b6, I play queen e6. There's some idea to play bishop h3. Because if ever white takes, I take and then have knight g4. And the idea would be to like, get a queen to h5 and then g4. Maybe in combination with a rook lift. Like rook d5 looks really attractive. But maybe I start with this move. And then, yeah, then this takes, and then eventually mate.
Welcome back, Eric.
Welcome back. I like your spelling of Bach. Bishop c5. I'm not rushing. Make sure the pawn's defended. Rook d5 is probably my next move. Gotta get some rook lifting in. Yeah, bishop a7. Still avoiding trades. Also, thank you, Dr. Dark Francis. Okay, white really wants to trade with me. It's probably time to trade. But it's also time to rook lift. Because once rook h5 happens, it's really hard to stop takes in queen h3. Yeah, I don't see how white's defending. There's a question from Mr. Knight. Why didn't you take pawn with the bishop? I'm not sure what moment. I can go back after the game.
Ma purchased
Hey,
Dewey
thank you,
Even
Mar.
Rook Lift Bro Muscle Tank Top for $30.
Yeah, if only I could clap my hands to change into a rook lift tank top. It happened in the most recent YouTube video. Okay, so this was the power of the rook lift. The queen enters the game. This wins a queen. Opponent wants a draw. But I want a free queen. The sniper bishop. No mercy here.
Oh no, opponent's queen.
Oh yes. Welcome back to Swagmaster. Okay, so the main goal
Oh no,
is to
his
not
queen.
get back rank
Also
mated.
quack.
But as long as my rook stays on the back rank, things are pretty good. Bishop e3 incoming. My opponent could play bishop d2 and say, oh no, my knight. And then I would get mated if I take it.
I believe this is what the kids call a bruh moment.
Bruh. Oh no, my rook. Oh no. Someone call an ambulance. But not for me. I guess I had bishop a3 immediately. I was thinking I would deflect the knight to get bishop e3. Anyway, that was a fun game. Thanks for the game. If you just tuned in, I had a lot of fun games. Sorry for the spoiler. But I'll probably put the whole thing on YouTube, either on the main channel or extra channel. So be sure to subscribe on YouTube.